Have you ever wondered how to apply for the Ontario Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream? This program is an incredible opportunity for foreign nationals who have secured an eligible job offer from an employer in Ontario. It's a pathway to permanent residence in Canada, open to applicants both from within and outside of Canada. This stream falls under the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, also known as the OINP. It's a part of the Employer Job Offer category, which is designed to help Ontario employers find skilled workers to fill essential roles in their businesses. The ultimate goal? To strengthen Ontario's workforce and economy while providing a life-changing opportunity to foreign workers. Whether you're already living in Canada or residing overseas, this could be your ticket to a bright future in Ontario. So, are you ready to explore this exciting opportunity? Let's dive into the details of the application process. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and hit that notification bell. Share it with your friends and subscribe for more interesting content. To be considered for the Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream, applicants must meet certain requirements. Let's dive in and take a closer look at what these are. Firstly, you have a full-time and permanent job offer in a skilled occupation classified as Type Level 0A or B in Canada's National Occupation Classification, or NOSI in Ontario. This job offer should also satisfy the province's entry-level salary standards for that specific occupation. Secondly, you need to have a minimum degree of work experience. Alternatively, if you hold a valid license or certification from an Ontario regulatory agency for the job specified in the employment offer, that works too. Next, you must demonstrate an intent to live in Ontario. This means you're planning to make Ontario your home and not just a stopover. If you're already residing in Canada at the time of applying, you must maintain your legal status. This could be a visitor record, a study permit, or a work permit. On top of that, you should have 2 years of full-time, paid and documented experience, either in Canada or overseas, within the last 5 years prior to the submission of your application, and there's more. Your work responsibilities should be similar to those described in the NOC for the occupation specified in the employment offer in Ontario. If your job experience is in a regulated occupation that requires authorization, you must show that you have a valid license from the relevant regulating organization. You might be wondering, what about self-employment? Well, to achieve the required job experience criteria, you can claim periods of self-employment. However, this self-employment must have been compensated and registered under the same NOC code as the post being offered. And finally, the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, or OINP, demands proof demonstrating that your work experience is in the same NOC as the job offer position. This can include reference letters, job descriptions, performance assessments, and job adverts. Once these requirements are met, the next step is to understand the employer's requirements. The Ontario employer must also meet certain requirements for the immigration category. Let's into these requirements, shall we? First off, the employer needs to have been in operation for at least 3 years. This requirement ensures that the company is established and can provide a stable work environment for the foreign worker. The employer must also have a place of business in Ontario. This is where the potential candidate will be working. It's essential that the work environment is physically located within the province to fall under the jurisdiction of Ontario's labour laws and regulations. Now, if the potential candidate is currently living overseas, visiting Canada or working elsewhere, the employer needs to provide appropriate documentation of recruitment efforts. This is to demonstrate that the employer has made a genuine attempt to fill the job position and that the foreign worker is indeed the best fit. The employer is also required to observe all provincial labour laws. This includes, but is not limited to, employment standards, health and safety regulations, and labour relations legislation. It's crucial that the employer respects these regulations to ensure a safe and fair working environment. Furthermore, the employer needs to meet the program's revenue requirements as well as the requisite minimum number of full-time employees. For employers in the Greater Toronto Area, they must have a minimum gross revenue of $1 million in the most recent fiscal year. Additionally, there must be at least 5 permanent full-time workers who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents at the place where the candidate will report to work. For employers outside the Greater Toronto Area, the minimum gross revenue is $500,000 in the most recent fiscal year, and they must have at least 3 permanent full-time workers who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents at the location where the candidate will report to work. To sum it up, these requirements are designed to protect both the employer and the foreign worker, ensuring a fair and stable work environment. They also serve to maintain the integrity of the immigration program. Meeting these requirements is crucial for the success of the application. Remember, it's not just the foreign worker's qualifications that matter, but also the employer's ability to provide a suitable work setting. Now that we understand the requirements, let's move on to the application process. The application process for the Ontario Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream can be broken down into 4 simple steps. Step 1. Prepare your documents. You'll need to gather a series of documents to support your application. This includes your job offer letter, work experience proof, proof of your intent to live in Ontario, and, if applicable, your license or certification. Remember, every document you submit contributes to the strength of your application. Step 2. Apply online. Once you have all your documents ready, you can submit your application through the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program's online portal. You'll need to fill out the application form accurately and upload all the necessary documents. Pay attention to detail here, as any error could delay your application. Step 3. Pay the fee. After submitting your application, you'll be to pay the application fee. This fee covers the cost of processing your application and is non-refundable. So make sure you've double-checked everything before you hit the submit button. Step 4. Wait for a decision. After you've submitted your application and paid the fee, the only thing left to do is wait. The processing time varies, but generally you should expect to hear back within a few months. If your application is approved, you'll receive a nomination from Ontario for permanent residence in Canada. Now, it's important to remember that being nominated doesn't guarantee you'll receive permanent residence. You still to apply to Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, for permanent residence after receiving your nomination. And finally, if you're residing in Canada at the time of your application, you must maintain your legal status throughout the entire process, from application to nomination. Completing the application accurately and providing all necessary documents will increase your chances of success. So take your time, be thorough, give yourself the best chance at a successful application. Good luck. Good. Let's talk about common mistakes to avoid and tips for success. Getting through the Ontario Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream can be a daunting process, yet many applicants stumble on the same hurdles. One of the most common mistakes is not accurately matching your work experience with the National Occupation Classification, or NOC. It's crucial to ensure your past roles align with the NOC code for the job offer in Ontario. Misalignment here can lead to a rejected application. Another common pitfall is inaccurately documenting your work experience. Remember, you need 2 years of full-time paid and documented job experience within the last 5 years. Any gaps, discrepancies or inaccuracies can jeopardize your application. And it's not just the applicants who can make mistakes. Employers too often overlook their minimum requirements. They must have been operational for at least 3 years and have a place of business in Ontario. If you're an employer, double-check your eligibility before starting the application process. Now, let's move on to some tips for success. Firstly, keep your documents accurate, and this includes your reference letters, job descriptions, performance assessments, and job adverts. These documents are your proof that your work experience matches the NOC of your job offer. Next, if there's any part of the application process you're unsure about, don't hesitate to seek help. There are numerous resources available, both online and offline, to guide you through the process. Lastly, be patient and persistent. The application process can be lengthy and there might be delays along the way. But don't let this discourage you. Keep your goal in mind and stay on top of your application status. Remember, the Ontario Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream is a fantastic opportunity to establish a promising career in Ontario. Avoiding these mistakes and following these tips can help make your application process smoother. We've covered a lot today about the Ontario Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream. Let's quickly recap. We discussed the requirements for applicants, which include having a full-time and permanent job offer in a skilled occupation in Ontario, the necessary work experience or valid certification, and the intent to live in Ontario. Additionally, applicants should have legal status and 2 years of relevant paid work experience. We also touched on the employer's criteria, such as having a business, operating for at least 3 years in Ontario, meeting the provincial labour laws, and fulfilling the revenue and full-time employee requirements. Furthermore, we explained the application process and provided some tips to avoid common pitfalls, like ensuring your job experience aligns with the National Occupation Classification for the job offer. With the right preparation and understanding of the process, you can navigate the Ontario Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream with confidence. Good luck. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and hit that notification bell. Share it with your friends and subscribe for more interesting content.